Hello and Happy New Year, Clare Hamilton.
Happy New Year, Sara Cox.
And welcome to Teen Commandments 2026.
Ooh.
It's completely different. We've had a rebrand. It's 2026. New year, new us, new things, new life.
Wow, I'm exhausted.
Yeah, it's bullshit. We've not done anything. We've not changed anything, have we?
Well, we are changing some things.
Oh, look at your little face. Oh, yeah. Firstly, though, this is the show where we try to make sense of the often... What should we go for? Just completely batshit crazy brains of our teenagers. What's going on? The thing that might be changing, that is changing that Claire's referring to, is that this is our final main episode that is being recorded in the shack at the bottom of the garden.
It is. I'm a bit sad.
It is. I know. I feel like we should have some sort of ceremony.
Oh.
Now, because we are basically a fantastic production company, has listened to the pod. They've loved us. We love them. And we are starting to do this pod with some professionals, basically.
So some people who know what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly. So me and Claire can just concentrate on dicking about instead of worrying if we put batteries in things and if things are plugged in right.
And if the lighting's equal. Hold on, that's not fair. You're more lit than me.
Yeah, someone is so professional. They'll have enough lighting and they won't have to share a light and take turns.
People are looking and say, God, I thought they were in the 70s, them two. They're actually quite young.
So that's exciting. But to reassure you, the pod the content and the stuff that we talk about ain't going to change.
Nope.
Me and Claire ain't going to change, but hopefully it will look a bit shinier, sound a bit more together. That's a false promise. We can't even promise that, to be honest.
No.
But either way, we're dead excited.
They took pity on us and said, let's help these two.
Let's get them out of that shed at the bottom of the garden where they're tripping over plugs and let's help. But it's been a fabulous year.
Yeah,
I mean,
oh
Claire,
my
congratulations.
Thanks.
On becoming a podcaster.
Yeah, I actually feel confident in saying that this is my job.
Yeah.
You know, when people say, what do you do? Well, nobody says to me, what do you do?
Because you're usually cutting their hair so they can guess your job.
I'm leading a double life at the minute.
Hey, talking of worlds colliding.
Yeah.
You told me that somebody came into the salon to get their hair cut and that they were starstruck by you doing their hair.
Yeah, I was doing a cut and colour on her. And it's happened a few times in the salon, may I add, that people have recognised me. And they're like, why are you still here?
Because I'm dedicated to the craft of hair.
Because I've got two teenagers and a shitload of bills to pay.
Exactly that, babe. Exactly that. And she was quite starstruck.
She was like, can I just ask you? Are you Clare Hamilton from Teen Commandments?
Did you have your big leather apron on?
Yeah.
So funny. Now, it is weird because, so hi to that lovely lady. And it is weird, isn't it, when there's a colliding of worlds? It's that kind of like when you're working and you're doing stuff for the pod, like when we were at Camp Festival or at the Podcast Awards and stuff, you're sort of like in podcast mode and in sort of showbiz mode a little bit. So is it weird when you're cutting hair and someone's excited by that? Does it make you feel a bit self-conscious?
Yeah, a little bit. And I feel like they've got a million questions as to what the hell I'm doing, you know. And it's strange and it's also new as well. It's great. And I need to talk to them about the hair and they're sort of sat grinning at me. What should we talk about? What colour? No.
And did you think, God, I've got to be really fun and funny like I am on the pod? But obviously you're cutting hair, you've got a million things to do, loads of stuff on your mind. You can't be that you're a bit like, the pressure. So hi to that nice lady.
Everybody's been really lovely. There was a lady the other day, she came in, she said, I did not expect to see you in here. And she was like, God, keep doing what you're doing. So that was nice.
Although it's a bit annoying because it's like, will everyone stop pointing out that I've not made enough money to stop hairdressing?
And then I've got Jason, who's one of my really good friends at the salon, and he just laughs his head off. He's just like, yeah, get over yourself.
Yeah, because people are still like, what are you doing here?
Shut up, it's just Claire.
When I did the girly show for the first series when I was 21, right? Oh, you know, this month marks 30 years of showbiz.
Really?
For me. Yeah, I should have got like a hat or a rosette or something.
I'll get you a hat.
Because I remember it was just before my 21st birthday when I got the girly show at Channel 4.
I remember you getting that.
Yeah, and then I just was like, God, everything's going to change. And then I had my 21st birthday where my mum, I think, had organised a few friends to come to the Lostock Arms. Oh, it was a right wet, it was a real...
Don't think I went to.
Oh, no, did you know? It was not my mum's.
Pizza jacket, where I never got it.
I know. It was a real poor do. I think there was about 8 of us. It was embarrassing. But I just signed for the girly show then, and I'm 51 now. So that's 30 years of showbiz.
Excellent.
Darling. But to your point about, it's just why you're still doing hair when you're also got this weird second life as a top showbiz podcaster. I did a first series of the girly show where I was interviewing like Joanna Lumley and it, I was like, this is it. My life's going to change forever. I'm going to make loads of money. I'm now basically like a mega superstar because I was like 21 and an idiot. Didn't really know how the business worked. And of course, after the first series of the girly show, I spent all my money because I'd never had money in my pocket before. I'd only ever been a barmaid or a rubbish model.
I remember you getting that money. I remember how much it was.
Yeah, we went out, didn't we?
For about 5 months.
Yeah, I got hundreds of pounds per episode. I mean, it was a lot of money. It was a lot of money back then. And we just went out and spent it, and I just got clothes and had a great time. And then at the end, I'm like, I've not got any more jobs now. I had to sign on. So I signed on between the first 2 series because I didn't know if we were going to get a second series. And it was like that when I was signing on. Like this woman recognised me and was literally like, oh my God, what's Joanna Lumley really like? She's very nice, thank you. Right, I'm just signing. Have you done any work, paid or unpaid, in the past 7 days? It was so depressing. Back down the dole centre, trying to get me. Back down the job centre, trying to get me dole. I was like, oh God, this is so depressing. I thought I'd be living in Hollywood by now.
Well, this is what it's like. It's like a bit of a crossover, and you don't know, and you can't be cocky or anything with it. You just don't know what's going to happen. It is kind of...
Well, we can't ever be cocky anyway because we were raised in the 70s and 80s, and obviously your biggest fear growing up then, drummed into you by your mother, was to never be a show-off.
Yes.
So you could never...
Stay in the real world.
To be in the real world. Yeah. Any confidence drummed out of you with sayings like that.
Get a proper job.
Are you showing off? You know what we didn't talk about? I went to Paris with my youngest. It was beautiful. She asked me to go away with her. She really wanted to go to Paris for the weekend. First time I've been to Paris and not clapped eyes on any artwork. No statues, monuments, no paintings, no sculptures. Because normally if you go to Paris, you have to go along to the Louvre or to the Pompidou and all that.
We were absolutely leathered, babe.
Were we leathered going around the Louvre?
Yeah, and I remember we went on the river. Is it the river? How do you say it?
We weren't leathered in the Louvre.
We were. We were
leathered on
at
that
the Mona
boat.
Lisa, how small it was.
I remember going on that boat.
Yeah, you made me jump off it to get 2 rosés. Just as it was setting off, you went, quick go, you'll make it. Literally nearly killed me.
Leap back.
And the idiot here fucking did it every time.
You'd always do what I tell you. It was that kind of like you can't resist a dare.
I still do.
It was brilliant. I remember us sipping our wine going along on the boat.
Go on, so you did none of that?
We did no culture, we just did shopping, but it was cute, and we shared a bed, and it was just sweet. She sleeps like a Disney princess. I mean, she doesn't move in her sleep, she just sleeps. And I was like paranoid about waking her up. I was paranoid about trumping because she'd done a no Trump rule, which is quite right when you're sharing a bed with someone. And the room was quite cold, and I just poked my little bum out the other side of the bed and moved the duvet because I was paranoid about trumping and ruining the weekend. And we had lovely girls, but I didn't. I was Trump free. I managed to somehow suppress my natural parpiness.
You never do that with me.
No, of course not. Oh, no, I'd be letting them fly. I'd be like, I'd be Dutch ovening you.
We had that tiny room. Do you remember the toilet was at the bottom of the bed, literally? Don't mind me.
Oh, yeah, in Paris, yeah. Just chatting while we
taking a dump.
And it was cute. There was like cute moments like she did. She's got like that lip stain where you do the lip liner so that you leave on and then you sort of peel it off. We were doing sort of quite girly stuff like that and just getting ready together because obviously we're in our own rooms normally at home. So sharing a room, we're sort of doing our makeup together, doing our hair. It was cute. It was really nice.
Did you have some nice food?
We had lovely food. We went out and about just shopping at vintage shops, which was really nice. she got these ballet flats from this posh place called Repetto. There was another English family in there as well with a teenage daughter. Clearly, this is the place you go and get ballet flats in Paris.
This might be why she wanted to go to Paris.
From an actual ballet shop. Yeah, it completely was.
Right.
But it was lovely. And the lady was like, it is very important. You do not wear them in the rain. And she wanted to wear them late that night. And it was forecast rain. And I had to put my foot down. She was like, no, please, because they were expensive, these shoes.
Right.
When I found out the price, the woman was like, but they will last for years. I'm like, they better last for 20 years. If not, I'm coming back with them. And it was a little bit drizzly. So I let her, it was dry when we set off. So I set off with a big mum bag going out for dinner with her rugs in my mum bag. So that if there was a spit of rain, I could drag them off her feet and put her rugs on and put the posh shoes in my bag.
Yeah.
But it was nice. We went off shopping. She did that thing where when we went off shopping, I had my big bag with me. And we literally stepped out of the hotel and we'd walked for about 6 meters and she got too hot and she put a massive scarf. You know those massive scarves
Yes.
they got, like Lenny Kravitz was photographed in that time.
Yeah.
Took off her massive scarf, took off her jumper. So for the rest of the day, I just had this big bag stuffed full of woolly stuff. I was like, okay, I'll just carry this everywhere.
Carry it.
But it was cute. We got on brilliantly and it was nice. It was special. Because I think I'm guilty sometimes of putting work before my kids, if I'm really honest.
I think a lot of people are, but I think if you can get those moments, grab them.
Yeah.
Don't delay. Just do it.
I wouldn't be lying on my deathbed going, oh, I wish I hadn't missed that All Request Friday and gone to Paris.
Exactly.
I'd be thinking about carrying woolly jumpers around Paris for my daughter.
spending your mortgage money on ballet shoes.
My money on ballet shoes. And just on that point as well, can I just congratulate you on working like a dog to help fund your daughter's travels as well?
Thanks,
because you'd mentioned that off pod, and I just want to say, I think a lot of women, a lot of single parents especially, will relate to that.
Yeah.
That you have been... I mean, you've been cutting people's hair when they don't even want a haircut. Just been running up to them in the street with your clippers.
Grabbing them as they walk past the salon and pulling them in.
And then charging them. Give me some money, please. My daughter's going travelling. So you just work your fingers to the bone so you could just... She had her own savings, but you wanted to just make sure.
And I got all the essentials and the travel insurance for backpackers, which, by the way, is a fortune.
Yeah.
Everything. I'm really fucking proud of myself.
Yeah, good for you, babe. I'm proud of you. You've worked hard.
Yeah.
You've sent her off. She's off on her adventures still.
Yes.
Well done, you. I love the fact that when you rang for insurance for backpackers, do they know that it's just going to be upset mums ringing because they played that music that was like a jewellery box?
Yeah.
And then the next song was probably like, please don't go, don't go. And then the next one, I'm like, my little girl, she's off round the world.
Slipping through my fingers.
I can't live if living is without you. We're like, will you turn this music off, please? It is the 5th of January right now. If you're listening on the day this pod is released, hello, beautiful people. Have you still kept to your New Year resolutions? That's the big question we're asking. I reckon about 50% of people. I mean, might have given up on them. If they've made them at all, is it a thing anymore?
I haven't heard my two say anything about resolutions.
Did you do them when I was a teenager, I think I was quite like, I'm going to write in my diary every day. I'm going to be... I mean, what would have been our health kit when we were teenagers? Because we wouldn't have been as obsessed with water like ours are, or going to the gym, or...
Did we even realise that you needed to be healthy as teenagers?
Skincare routines. I don't know. It probably would have just been like, I'm going to get fingered twice a week. Make sure. I've got to improve my blowjobs. I want to roll a cone really well. You know, those. Remember, we'd all hang out with lads who'd be able to roll cones that use like eight.
I reckon I could still roll a cone.
8 different Rizzlers stuck together, this massive.
But you couldn't smoke it and it just gave off loads of boulder burns, didn't it? Just like...
You can roll a cone because we did that silly thing for the socials where I had to say what was coming up on the pod while you... Now, I will say, in case anybody is listening from the Metropolitan Police, that we did use some soil from my plant.
Yes.
Yeah. We're very well behaved these days. Oh, and we used a Post-it note. We didn't even have any Rizzler, did we? But you still had those mad skills, girl. So would you have had resolutions, do you reckon, as a teenager?
I don't think I'd had any. No. I mean, just all about getting wasted, wasn't it? It was a big deal.
Sadly, as you get older, resolutions, they shift to sort of like, you know, losing weight, or, you know, people seem to focus on kind of, self-improvement, going to the gym, which is good. That's a good one to do.
Yes. I think, the going to the gym one is classic because you've indulged for the month, isn't it? So you're just like, right, I've got to sort this out.
I always know when it's time for me to improve my lifestyle when I trap my belly flesh in a nutcracker.
Oh.
So a few days after Christmas, you know, when most of the snacks have gone, but you've still got that big bowl of mixed nuts, and the ones that you're not that mad on, like the hazelnuts, are still left over. All the Brazils have gone.
Yeah.
The walnuts have gone. So you're like, oh, what's in to eat? There's no in. Okay, I'm going to have that last hazelnut. And I'll always use a traditional nutcracker, you know, the silver. And as I do it, I'll just catch my belly in the back of it. And it'll pincer. And I do it every year, and that's like... That's God's way of saying...
You throw it off and you run straight to the gym.
Yeah, exactly.
Screwing off down the drive.
Quick. Grab a sports bra and an energy drink and I'm off. That's the moment that I know. But if you're listening now and you did some New Year resolutions, very good for you. Excellent work. Maybe as a teenager you did. hello@teencommandments.co.uk. I mean, I didn't really resolve to get fingered twice a week when I was a teenager.
3 times?
3 times, exactly that. It was to keep up my diary. Every year I'd get a diary for Christmas. And every year I would be like...
You'd write, Sarah Joanne Cox, in the neatest writing.
Yes.
This diary belongs to...
Yes, exactly, all that.
You still do that,
all the details at the front. I've not done it for a while, actually. Because I don't think does anybody write a diary now? I mean, do you wish you'd have written a diary throughout all your teenage years? Because it would be interesting to look back now.
Yeah.
Like I would literally put my name in the front.
Yeah.
And then I would, January the 1st, there'd be so much description of what happened that day. What I ate, what I wore, where I went. And on January the 2nd, the same, I would fill it in. I also, you know, the whole thing where I called it Charlotte because that was my dream name. So it'd be Dear Charlotte. Went with Mum to, you know, Tammy Girl or whatever. She let me get some shampoo from Body Shop. Then we went to Greg's. So that'd be like a little day out in Bolton or whatever. All the details. And then just by 1st of February, it'd be literally just got up, school... had tea, bed. And then by the end of February, it'd literally be like, got up, bed. I was just so bored of it. No other details about my day.
Such a body's a slag.
No, did you put details like that in there?
Yeah, I think so. And we had code words for our diaries as well, me and my teen friends.
Oh, come on.
Like, we used to call a love bite a toothpaste.
So shit.
My friend still got her diary from when we were teens. She said it's up in her mum's loft. I'm begging her to get it down.
That'd be fantastic. Yeah. Can you get her to get it down and then we can read it for the pod?
I feature a lot in that.
Yes, so the bits where you feature, we
lots
need
of
it
fingering
for the pod.
and stuff. Bobbly Hat was fingering. That's so bad.
Oh my God. So what? Let's make up Kerry got a bobbly hat.
Yes, that's exactly it.
From Wayne after, oh my God.
It's a lot of bobbly hatting going on.
And she came away with 3 lots of toothpaste on her neck or whatever.
3 toothpaste and bobbly hat. Someone reading it who didn't know what it was
would quickly be like, oh, that's clearly fingering. Crack the code.
She got a bobbly hat off Stephen.
I know that for quite a while with diaries as a teenager, and I think this is because I started my periods quite late when I was like 15. I was desperate to start my period. And so I was obsessed with my own discharge.
Okay.
And so I just wrote that in my diary. So I don't think I'll dig that out anytime soon to read out on the pod. Oh, lovely. Wednesday, light brown discharge. So I was just desperate for my period start. Because I broke my hymen horse riding when I was 10, that's when all the women folk thought that I'd started my period. Right. And that's when it was like something off Little Women, where I was lay in my bed and like all the women folk gathered. That's how I remember it. But
all the women from Bolton gathered round
exactly.
your bed.
But maybe I've seen too many. Maybe I've read too many Dickens novels. I don't think it happened like that. I've got a false memory of it. It felt like everybody gathered round to come and pay homage You know, like, you know, when they, God rest her soul, when they queued up to walk past the Queen's coffin.
Yes, it was
in my mind, it was a bit like that of old Bolton women going, she's a miracle. She started her period at 10. And but
Jackie had put some finger sandwiches on.
Yeah, exactly. Jackie had put on a light spread, a little buffet, some cars pasties. But I think it was my mum, my eldest sister, and my nana were definitely involved with like coming and being like, oh, you're a woman now. And I wasn't. I just broke my hymen from trotting around on my pony. Right. So it wasn't even a period.
Right, okay.
So there was no sign of anything for months after. So then I was forgotten and ignored, which as a youngest child is your greatest nightmare. So by 15, I was desperate to actually, after that fake period, to eventually get my period. So yeah, those are the discharge
Discharge Diaries.
The Discharge
That's
Diaries.
A great name.
Should we do a special Discharge Diaries?
10 Commandments book is going to be called The Discharge Diaries.
You know,
we've got so much great merch. Babe.
Dildos and Beyond.
Yeah.
We'll have to have a subtitle.
Oh, yeah.
Brings it up to date. You know, when we've got this lovely production company who are going to be making this pod. Jesus. And we go in there and we're like, what about Discharge Diaries?
And all these wonderful young 20-year-old professionals are going to be like, what?
The millennials just quietly retching in the background at us.
Slightly traumatised.
Yeah, for future episodes, if you do hear any retching in the background, don't worry. It'll just be the people that are now going to be working with us. We've just got to bed them in. They'll get used to us. It'll be absolutely fine.
It'll be educational.
If you wrote a diary, I mean, do share.
Send us your diaries.
Oh my God, please take little photographs of your diary entries, please, and send them to us. We would love to see them.
We could have a diary day where everyone brings the diaries and they can read out.
Well, how's about this? Logistically, it's easier if they take a picture and email it to us at hello@teencommandments.co.uk.
I'm just got a lonely alive now. I just need more in my schedule.
You've got to try and stop meeting the listeners in real life to do
I
things.
quite like it.
No, don't do that face. A little face is little. You know what? We could actually do a diary special, a Teen Commandments diary special. Get your mate to dig out hers. And if you want to take a picture of any of you can stay anonymous if you like and change the names.
Yes.
Any pictures of like the best entries from your teenage diaries, please. hello@teencommandments.co.uk.
Brilliant.
Because that would be a lot of fun.
Oh, we've got to do this.
And also, that is the address. If you just want to say hi to us about anything, New Year resolutions, what your kids did over New Year, tell us, please. Usual address, hello@teencommandments.co.uk. Now, I just mentioned there about kids' New Year's Eve. Yeah. It's a tricky time for kids, isn't it? If maybe there's a bit of politics going on and they've not been invited to a New Year's Eve party. So it's the 5th of January now, if you're listening on the day the pod comes out. Yeah. And you're still getting over the trauma. I mean, I think teens are quite robust and they get over stuff. But I think as their mums sometimes, you can feel so protective over like, why did that bitch not invite my child to her party?
I think for me, my experience has been with my daughter, with being not invited to a party and with social media. It can be really cruel because they find out about the party and then they see the party.
They watch the party happening in real time.
Yeah, they're not invited.
Yeah.
And it is horrible.
Yeah, because I guess, you know, they have too much information these days where they can see it happening on Snapchat, they can see it on Insta stories. Everybody's having a great time.
The build-up. Have you been invited?
Yeah. And also that kind of like, because they won't really just ask. Well, mine won't. Because I'm always like, why don't you ask? Why don't you ask if you can go? I'm sure they'll let you go. There's often politics going on, isn't there? Who's friends with who?
Who's friends with who?
What's
but mine
going
have
on?
been told sometimes, my daughter, you're not invited. Oh. Fucking awful. It's like...
Mean. So listen, what was this a few years back?
Yeah.
And this is a fantastic daughter who's off now, seeing the world, being amazing.
And is friends with all these people now as
okay, fine. So we can't be too mean. Can we be a bit mean?
A bit mean. At the time,
we are fuming.
Yeah.
And it's weird when they're teenagers because you can't really reach out to the parents involved.
No.
They would rather miss every party on this earth than you to interfere by speaking to someone's parent or something and them getting involved. Yeah. Why don't you invite such a body? Your mum's been on, can you imagine? So you just have to sort of sit back and let them handle it, really.
Let them handle it and let them go through that night of feeling left out. And I've always said that at least it's showing you, it doesn't help at the time, but at least it's showing you how not to be towards people and what it feels like to be on the receiving end of that. And I hope that was a good lesson, but it's awful.
Really tough. And when they weren't invited to parties, did did you try and like make it fun at home?
No, not really.
Oh, right.
No, I thought...
Good.
Yeah. I didn't think to do that. I think that I thought that might have... I think in the moment, that might have really irritated my daughter.
Yeah, it definitely. Well, that's why I was worried about it. You're like, well...
I've got us some paper hats.
I've done a grazing platter. With all different meats.
Fuck off.
And I've done a playlist of all the top tunes. Yeah, just be like, no. So it's hard, isn't it? You can only support them through it. But you're good. You're a brilliant mum where you're like, look, it's not nice. This is how it feels. Shit. So, you wouldn't do that to someone. And maybe think about what kind of, person these people are if they're going to make you feel like that. But like you say, they've grown out of that and they're friends again now. So it's fine.
They've realised, and I think everybody goes through that, whether they've done it or whether they've been on the receiving end. I think it's horrible.
Back in the day when we were teenagers, was New Year's Eve a big deal for you?
Well, I had that. That's the only memory I have of New Year's Eve is we weren't invited to a particular party. So we walked down to the estate where it was happening and sat on the wall watching them all celebrate through the living room window.
So who's we?
Me and my two best mates at the time.
Okay, so this was the big party that was happening. Everyone from school or the
girl from the year
area.
above was having the party.
Oh, year above as well, that's cool.
But all our male friends were in the party, so all of our crew, except us three.
It's like a nature documentary where you're like the hyenas just hoping for a little scrap of the kill.
We watched them do the countdown.
No way!
Yeah, we did.
Oh my God, this is so the analogue version then of what happens now. So you basically, back then, it was watching on Snapchat and Insta stories, but in real life.
Sat on a wet wall.
Sat on a wet wall looking in through the window. This is so
We got dressed up just in case.
So was this just not to go there and we attempted to
we just wanted somebody to come out and just go, you can come in,
So sorry to dig into this traumatic memory. When the clock did strike midnight and everyone was counting down inside and then cheered, did you three?
No.
A little hug or?
No.
Just what time did you leave?
Probably 2 minutes past.
Oh, babe.
Walked home freezing.
That's so sad. That's the most tragic New Year's Eve party story I've ever heard.
It's the only one I remember.
Bloody hell. That is so brutal.
What about you?
Oh, I think I was babysitting a lot as a teenager.
Oh, yes, the babysitting.
Because it would have been a big night in the pub where we lived through a lot of my teenage years. So that would have been good. So I would have sneaked back in. If I'd have been out anywhere to sneak back in and my mum still would have been having a lock-in with loads of locals, I'd have been wrecked, absolutely off my crackers. And they'd be like, we're through here, Sarah, come through, Happy New Year. Oh, Jesus. Trying to sneak upstairs without her hearing me. And so if I wasn't coming in after partying, then I probably would have been when I was 15 or so, I would have been babysitting.
Yeah.
And then the parents would get back absolutely wankered. You get loads of money for it because it's New Year's Eve, so you'd be on like double time. They'd slip you a bit of extra cash. And like the dad walking me home to get me home safely would be so pissed.
Just a massive hazard.
Yeah, it was more of a hazard. It was more I had to look after him in case he went over and swallowed his tongue. I was like, Jesus, you're not saving me from any assailants.
Barry's fell in a bush.
Yeah, it was just like, Jesus, how's he going to get back? He's going to be found dead in a bin in the morning. Like just weaving along the road. You know what I mean? Taking me back to the pub where I live. Bloody
with his
hell.
fag and his beer belly. That's how I remember 80s men.
Just absolutely hammered, and like a bit leery and a bit like, and the wife are being like kicking off her shoes as she gets through the door, like, sort her out, Carl, give her extra 20. Oh, Jesus. So I'd earn serious dosh, but be traumatised by the journey home, basically. And on that bombshell, Happy New Year, everyone!
New Year!
We would love all your stories about New Year's Eve, about New Year's resolutions, about anything to do with raising teens or being a teenager yourself. All your memories, please. And of course, if you can, take photos of good diary entries. And of course, if you can, take photos of really good diary entries from your teenage years, and we'll try and knot together a special. In the meantime, have a fabulous first week. I know everyone's going back to work. Everyone's a little bit January, but we wish you love and light. And we'll be back on Wednesday, of course, with our Your Turn episode. You can watch this episode if you fancy on YouTube. And Claire, I love you very much.
I love you.